Okay, where did we leave off? Oh yeah, with us figuring out what exactly the Breton, the captain guard, I forgot his name, knows about dreams. Because apparently he contacted the Daedric Lord of Nightmares, Vermina. Vermina? Hmm. So, Gallus, fail to tremble with fear. Tell that skeevy wizard guy that trembling and fear is not in your vocabulary. Anyway, Gaius, that's his name. Explain the difference between trembling with fear and trembling with reasonable apprehension. Cute dog. I've been in the Guard longer than you've been alive, Breton. I've seen frenzied trolls burst forth from the ground, men get ripped to shreds by land-roving drog. Zombies tear down entire villages with nothing but their teeth, and that's all in the last 2 years. I can hit an imp with a bow at 300 yards, kill a grizzly bear in hand-to-hand combat, and cut a man in half with one swing of a sword. Trembling with fear isn't in my vocabulary. I handle the fear, so you primsy mage folk never have to see it. Ah, yes, he says. Forgive me for ever doubting you, Captain Atrium. I was under the mistaken impression that a certain fear was why you sought this meeting out to begin with. There's a difference between trembling with fear and trembling with reasonable apprehension. Perfectly brave men of action can still tremble with reasonable apprehension, or have reoccurring, nightly, reasonable apprehension including nightmares. Also, take off that hood. I find it unsuitable. I like my hood, Captain Atrium. Now come, Sigurd is waiting. We have a summoning to attend, and I don't wish to miss the opportunity any more than you do. Munch, 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 munch. You give a vague nod of disapproval and gesture for him to lead on. Gaius accused Stefan of being a cultist. He's smiling way too much for someone about to meet a Daedric prince. Plus, you've already accused everyone else of it, so it just fits in. For a priest of the Nine Breton, you seem awfully excited about this Daedra summoning. The proper term is Daedric Prince. And please, sheathe your accusations, Captain. I have no interest in the prince herself. Merely to wit I merely wish to witness her reaction to Sigrid. It'll be like a Daedra reacts to any mortal, I assume. Have you reason to expect different? The priest looks over his shoulder to say something, but hesitates. It's complicated. There are many kinds of mortals, Captain. Indeed. Some are cultists, you point out grimly. The priest does not reply. Suspicious. Very suspicious. Does she not have a soul or something? That would make sense. Like, Daedras usually make bargains for souls, so what would they do if they get a mortal that doesn't have a soul? At least Sigrid can still be trusted. She was waiting for me when I entered the dining room. Caius, she exclaims. It's been far too long. Here for a chat? Or to watch us tear the fabric of the universe asunder? Pleasure as always, Sigrid, though we both know quite well why I'm here. Sigrid sighs. Yes, yes, forgive a young woman her flirtatious pleasantries. You're here on business. This room is satisfactory, I hope. It's small. Will that be dangerous? This is a Daedric prince, so size shouldn't matter. I assure you that I've taken every responsible safety precaution. I locked the windows, I pushed the tables and chairs out of the way. I even picked up all the flowers on the ground. Did you really pick up the flowers? You ask. Of course not, Gaius. I'm a mage. I set them on fire. Now, my friend over here is more than ready to call forth Verminia, provided you brought your half of the payment, of course. Highway robbery, both of you. Yes, but you can't help but love us for it. Sigrid slips out of the room to grab some ice cream, while the Cabal Mage begins his incantations. Even untrained in magic as you are, you can feel his dark sorceries begin to waft through the room. The air tastes grayer, the colors look bitter, and even Sword Dog seems unnerved by the unholy ambience. Sigrid still looks unfazed, of course, but she's Sigrid. That's just kinda what she does. Sigrid, eat up. Concern. Ah. Oh, oh, it's doing the thing. Is it gonna jump scare me again? Okay, I think it's over, right? Okay. Okay. Did Gaius, cut to the chase. No reason to debate and small talk. Gaius, bring out your list of questions and start asking them with military promptness and precision. It's probably rude to waste a Daedric Lord's time. The Dark Prince of Nightmares looms menacingly before you. Sword Dog flees the premises, but you, being a brave captain, stand fast in approach. Glaring into the demon's soulless eyes, you draw your pre-written and ordered list of questions. Though you could care less about wasting her precious time, a man of action such as yourself doesn't delay with important matters. I don't know what voice to do for this. Give me a second. Okay. Lady Verminia answers your summons, mortal, for she saw great import in this meeting. For what vile purpose do you seek her You cut her off. Actually, demon, I have a series of questions I need answered. Grand, a pithy mortal who thinks me their librarian. Surely a god descended here today for better a purpose than fulfilling your insane inquiries. Should you prove of humble service first, then perhaps an agreement could be devised. You take a step towards the monster and glare at her. I didn't call you here to serve your will, demon. I am a man of virtue and justice who has paid good money to summon you for answers. Answers you will provide. Then you have insolently wasted both our times, she growls. It is my day of summoning, and I have deeds I need done, and countless loyal servants who would die for the chance to bask in my glory and spread my horrors across Mundus. To be called upon by a trifling man of virtue who offers me nothing is an act worthy of Miss Vermia, Sigrid interrupts. I apologize for my good friend's behavior, and I understand you are surely eager to return to Quagmire and disseminate your mighty terrors across the plains. However, I have something that I think might be of interest to you. Hmm. If anyone can handle negotiations between a noble human and a demonic being of unfathomable might and power. It's Sigrid, right? Paints. Verminia will be here for some time. You may ask her anything. Gaius questioned Dedra. What's the purpose of those weird dreams? How unique is your condition? Why cultists? Don't ask why you're having these nightmares. A god of nightmares might take that the wrong way. Instead, ask why you keep having the same nightmare. With the monster adequately pacified, you retrieve your list and begin your questioning proper. You start with the basics, reading your notes word for word. Demon, for nearly 15 years now, my every sleeping night has been haunted by these horrible nightmares. You're welcome. And yet, every night it is the same vision. I am alone in a room with a vile, dangerous cultist. Cultists? Cultists aren't even... She trails off at the end, and after a brief hesitation continues, Does the dream leave you terrified? It fills me with a reasonable apprehension. Is that like fear? It is functionally identical to fear. Then you are right to be scared, mortal, for Verminia knows your every fear, and has shown you a mere fraction of her horrible power. It is through my dark bidding that every night you are subjected to these horrors, and it is through my mercy that you awaken every morning in a cold sweat. So you've been tormenting me for years with these nightmares? Torment is my sphere, and nightmares my realm. There is certainly no other entity who could be behind it. And why, demon? Is it the same dream every night? What meaning is there? A mere mortal could not possibly understand the motives of a god. When Vermina feeds you these visions, when she casts your mind into that room full of cultists, it is a gift from her all-knowing will. You have no right to question it. It's just one cultist. What? The room is just filled with one cultist. How can a room be filled with one cultist? Sometimes it's really big. When you call a dedric prince out on a lie. That is correct. Vermaya was testing you about her nightmares she gave you. No one believes you. May Vermina speak with this mortal alone. Everybody except Gaius and Vermina. Vermina, leave. What does... I feel like that's gonna come back to haunt everything later. Yes, go, shoo. Vermina has important business to conduct. Good way to get rid of a dog. Now, mortal, she begins. Vermaya was being subtle, so you would not have to notice this, but her earlier statements about your nightmares were what's known among beings of great powers as untruths. Actually, I gathered. In reality, I knew nothing of these nightmares, an occurrence most unusual for an omnipotent being like myself. To put it in crude terms of a lesser creature, someone is messing with us. They're giving you boring, stupid nightmares instead of my perfect, terrifying ones. Ask about the possibility of another Daedra or other being capable of sending nightmares. I'm pretty sure that whole only I can send nightmares thing is a blatant, arrogant, and egotistical lie. Your blood heats to a slight simmer at the insinuation that your nightmares aren't terrifying, or at the very least reasonably, apprehensionably, wait, reasonably apprehensifying. But you hold your tongue on the matter. If you're not the one behind these nightmares, demon, then surely you know who is.
Few entities are capable of infringing upon my sphere like this, and even fewer would have the gall to try. But Vermina has her suspicions.
Ah, she made that painting. That actually don't understand why, but okay. Suspicions. Molag Bal, magic elves, question mark. Why elves specifically? Does she have like a grudge against elves? I can see Molag Bal, god of knowledge, being deceitful.
Are you a vampire?
No.
Are we in the province of Morrowind?
No.
Vermina has exhausted her suspicions. Has it ever spoken to you?
The cultist?
The dream. A mask can hide a face, but a voice betrays the actor.
Never, I'm afraid. Neither the nightmare nor the monster have ever actually made an attempt to communicate.
A shame, though in his silence our dream thief has left an unwitting clue, the curious calling card of one who values their anonymity.
You note a tinge of disdain in the word dream thief. Though cosmic happenings may be a mystery to you, a fearless guard such as yourself has been serving long enough to know how thieves work. If this thief you claim is infringing on your domain, if this thief you claim is infringing on your domain leaves no name, he's not doing it as show of his power. He must be doing this for personal revenge against me.
Well, vengeance amongst a mortal, especially one such as yourself, is certainly understandable and commendable. It does not explain the secrecy. Why enact revenge for so long, if not to make the victim cry your name in blissful agony? Why hide your actions from the Lady of Infinite Tortures herself? I mean, he could have just bought a custom nightmare from me if he needed one so direly. They only cost 4 souls. No need to go sneaky about it. Unless... What if there was a prize afoot? Something so powerful it could drive one omnipotent being to trespass upon the sphere of another. Something so coveted that it would be kept secret, even from his mortal servant. So indivisible that its seeker would prefer me as an enemy than an accomplice.
You cock an eyebrow, keeping up with the demon's meandering line of thought as best you can. You're suggesting my nightmares are part of some entity's gambit to claim a mysterious prize?
Perhaps, or perhaps it's nothing but the meaningless proddings of a lesser prince, or another of Mad God's vapid games. Or perhaps the prize exists, but your pointless dreams only exist to distract me from the dream thief's true machinations. A red slaughterfish, if you will.
You mean a red herring.
There is no such thing as a red herring, you daft fool. Alternatively, ask her to speculate on why might someone want to constantly pester someone with such dreams. Something that would install an inherent fear, air caution with regards to, say, a cultist or royalty, etc. In case it's not any help to her, ask her if she needs more circumstantial details, like where you were when the nightmares began, when it was, as exactly as you can get, what you were doing at the time, and whether anything else of significance happened in or around that time. Vermina asks the questions before you even can. Human, you spoke of your so-called nightmares persisting for 15 mortal years.
Are those different from immortal
Was there a particular context under which they began? A date of significance, or a position in which they would influence your actions?
They began on the 2nd of First Seed, year 419. I was serving as a swordsman in the Kvatch Guard, morning shift. Wall duty.
History book! How dreadfully mundane, and chronologically irrelevant. Months and miles from any event of significance. Did the dreams drive a change in your actions?
The dreams taught me to be wary of cultists.
Did cultists ever pose a threat to you?
Cultists are always a threat. They just happen to never be doing anything wrong whenever I or anyone else I know sees them.
Grand. I am beginning to suspect this is nothing more than a rival playing against my curiosity. For all the signs of a calculating thief, there is no apparent goal or timing to this action. The culprit moves with a pointless intelligence, almost as though Vermina must leave now, for some reasons entirely unrelated to the secret theory she just developed. What would that theory be? I'm beginning to suspect that this is nothing more than a rival playing against my curiosity. For all the signs of a calculating thief, there is no apparent goal or timing to his actions. The culprit moves with a pointless intelligence, almost as though a cue. Hmm, interesting.
Wait, you know something. You figured something out at the very least.
Ramaya has a theory, an incomplete theory, but a theory nonetheless, deserving of her full attention. Even as conjecture, she has allies who need to know, and enemies who may already. She must leave at once. Our discourse has proved enlightening, bearded human. Should you discover anything further about your dreams or other propagator, this is my home number. Simply employ another capable summoner and contact me post haste.
Hold on, demon. I called you here to provide answers, and you owe me answers. You can't just leave as soon as you find something. And what about your unsettling painting you were enjoying so much? You didn't even finish it.
The god of nightmares owes you nothing, mortal. You have expended your usefulness for the time being, and Vermina has nothing further to gain from you. You've brought an important issue to her attention, and now her efforts must be directed elsewhere.
But you've only left me with more questions.
You're a mortal standing in the presence of a god, fortunate to have received anything at all. As for Vermina's wondrous yet incomplete nightmare mural, there, now it's an aesthetic nightmare. You're welcome, and goodbye. Ask Vermina what you must do to root out the scourge upon your unconscious state. The Daedric Prince of Nightmares begins to stalk back into the void. You realize this could be your last chance.
Lady Vermina, please. In nearly 15 years of searching, you're the closest I've ever come to the cause of my torment. If the culprit behind my dreams nearly eluded a Daedric prince in her own domain, how am I supposed to find answers? What am I supposed to do? You half expect her to continue walking and ignore you, but she turns and gives the slightest smile.
Simple. Ask your dream thief. Every actor takes their bow sooner or later, though your unseen malefactor's actions may give the impression of confidence. Vermina suspects he is terrified his plan will go astray.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, does he, what does he want me to do? Lady Vermina.
Happy dog. I'm actually gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode where we get to see if he calls back Vermina with the letter for Katia to give her input. Because Katia has clearly heard the voice in the dreams, and that seems kinda relevant, to say the least. Ah, that staff was meant to, seal her. But yeah, that wasn't very thought out from the guy who put it there. Okay, well, that happened. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode, where we probably won't get answers. Anyways, see ya!